I watched you on The Pivot. I thought it was a fantastic interview.
Oh, thank you. Shout out to those guys, man. They're awesome.
I thought it was, I mean, personally, that was my favorite interview of yours so far on this press run. And, you know, I love The Pivot. That's one of my favorite podcasts. So it's
Great
always
podcast.
dope when you get to see, like, all your favorite personalities in one space and everybody is doing them. Ryan was being Ryan, Fred was being Fred, Channing was being Channing, you were being you. And it was a good faith conversation.
That's what we need more of.
Nobody tried to dunk on each other. It was just a good conversation.
How do we have these conversations, and just how do we go into things like, if people are respectful, you could disagree and you could say certain things. When we get into dunk culture, it's not, there's no respect. It's like, I'm trying to humiliate you so that people give me pats on the back.
You worried about the audience.
Yeah, instead of worried about the person you're talking to.
You worry about the audience. You worry about what the audience is going to say as opposed to 100%. What is this conversation. How'd you feel after doing it?
I thought it was great. Like, I was really appreciative that they would have me on and that we could have that conversation, and that we could have that conversation, like, specifically, like, just talk about comedy, talk about jokes, and like get where they're coming from, understand their perspective, and hopefully, you know, feel mine a little bit more.
Very honest moments, you know, especially centered around what people choose to edit out of interviews.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you what my you want to know what my initial reaction is, which I think is kind of unfair, but my initial reaction was when I saw you guys talking about it, and I was like, okay, he wants to protect black women, and this is very important. And then I looked on every one of the episodes that you had to see if there was any guys on here that beat up black women. Mm-hmm. And there were. And I looked to see if you guys addressed it on the pod, and you didn't.
Okay.
Now, I also saw you guys had the episode with DeAndre's mom talking about domestic violence. So I was like, okay, this is good and this is powerful, this is important. But my knee-jerk reaction was, man, I get a whole section that's not even part of an episode. Mm-hmm. And these guys who we know have actually, like, for like a joke, and these guys who have actually like hurt black women and convicted, not allegations, because I don't go off of allegations, I go off of conviction. Everybody can get an allegation, it means nothing. And then these guys, they don't get anything. So in that moment, I was like, this feels like a clout play. It doesn't feel like the highest priority is protecting these women. So that was my initial reaction.
So I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
We have had people on this show that have been convicted for domestic violence that have pulled it out of the show.
That have pulled it out of the show.
That I have asked about it.
Oh, and then they're like, I don't want it on the show.
Yeah, and I do, because people come on our show voluntarily.
Of course.
I do ask those questions in respectful ways. Right, I'm not, hey man, you're a woman beater, but I will say, like, in one of the instances that was pulled, I said, look, you know, you were convicted of something that no man wants attached to his name.
Amen.
And they answered it. We talked to their people. I was like, man, the answer was good, like, and they pulled it out of the show. So we've had that happen. We also had an instance with one of our guests who was talking about sexual assault, and he talked about it in a way that almost said that, okay, how do we blame the women? And I addressed that as well.
Yeah.
So as far as for me, I try to address it in every opportunity that I get a chance to with them.
Yeah.
I try to ask them questions in ways that they get to tell their side of the story.
Yeah.
When they sit with us, I do not bash them over the head with it, condemn them, or judge them in the moment.
Yeah.
I do try to have a conversation about it.
I thought that was very, very honest conversation, because, I mean, everybody does it depending on what it is. Sometimes you do it because
you just say something dumb. You say something that's crazy. Like, you say something too wild because you're with your friends and you're acting as if there's not 5 cameras in the room.
Yes. And you know what I realized?
That's the majority of cuts on a podcast, mind you. It's you just talking to your friends and there's 5 cameras in the room and you forget.
And you know, sometimes we say things that, and this is not something I'm not going to sit here and act like I always did this or always knew this. And honestly, one of the reasons I don't like to do it anymore is because you just don't know what's going to cause somebody to be hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sometimes you say things and then it goes out and then you realize, oh shit, you hurt somebody and now people are upset, people are offended. You're like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said
Exactly.
that. You know? But then sometimes you just don't know. Like you said, we just kicking it, having a good time. Now you got a whole big back brigade out front, you know, being protesting you. You know what I'm saying? That is crazy. Nobody does that on purpose.
Those girls skip breakfast to protest
You know
man.
what I mean?
That's the most important
they
meal of the
definitely
day.
eat before they protest.
Oh, you did?
Come on, they eat before they
I
protest.
mean, you start early, bro. You started what 6 in the morning.
Eat before they protest.
They got to.
Come on, they're not just coming out there empty stomachs.
Why do you think they came to the Breakfast Club?
Get mad when they wait a minute, where's breakfast? No, that's the name of the show.
Yeah,
That's the name of the show. But nah, Pivot was great. Thoroughly enjoyed it. What else happened this week, man?